Okay, MEMATRON here. So, I have been working on an educational project. So it's making assets for a program that will be used for educational educational purposes. And this is one of them. It's a media projector, and for the kind that's used for a whiteboard. And so this is the one of the main components, the actual projector that displays whatever it is you're looking at onto a whiteboard that is below. So what happens is there's an arm that comes out of the top of this and extends away from it and then goes down, and that is mounted on top of a white screen and then the images are projected from here, and then below that screen are the same kind of controls that are here, but you can also attach cables like HDMI and VGA and things like that, and sound controls. This is a speaker grill. So these holes actually do go into the casing. So they do go all the way through, most of them except for right here. And sort of dummy holes. And this is the fan, the cooling fan. So instead of just using making a grill, I actually indicated that there is a fan, so that even though you can't see it well, you would notice it if it wasn't there. I'm not doing the inside, I'm just doing the externals, but what you can see, if you can see into it, you know, it's important that you see something inside to make it look like there's more to it than just the outside. This right here is a so you have the fan, and then on this side you actually have the air filter. So this right here is the actual air filter, and this is the door for it. So you would kind of put your hand right here, and then lift up on that, and this kind of locks it in place. This lever. So I modeled all this, and then you have the you know, sort of the business end. Combination of projector and sensors, so that when the person is writing on the board, you know, with it's like a plastic pen. It looks like a dry erase marker, except it's not an actual marker. It's probably closer to almost like a Wacom tablet, a big fat Wacom tablet stylus, but it's not pressure sensitive. But it is used as a quote unquote marker for the tech that's inside here to know your position on the board. These are the controls, manual controls. There's a remote control that you use with it, and these pretty much just replicate what's on the actual remote control. It's not done yet. I have to put separation lines on here that follow this. There's several that go along. This is not too loosely, but I would say it's loosely based off the real thing. I did change it on purpose so as to avoid any types of lawsuits or things like that. It's being used for commercial purposes, but it's you just get the idea. Okay, it's a media projector, but it's not a particular brand. It's just the shape is what's necessary in order for something like this to work. This right here is the infrared sensor for the controller. This isn't a sensor. This is actually just like a label right here. But yeah, all the geometry is there. So this is in SketchUp, so we're going to see how it looks in KeyShot. I've already opened it up. So let's just go to KeyShot here. I like KeyShot because it renders in real time, and you can kind of get even before it actually does the nice pretty render, you can get an idea of what your work will look like. I'm going to turn that off so we can see underneath. So I'm just doing this to show you how it you know, the results, the fruits of the labor look pretty good. So here is the just let that render. Oh, actually, I know a lighting environment that complements this a little bit better. I'm going to do color. I'm going to do the same startup. And I'm going to turn on global illumination. I'm going to reduce the ray bounces just so it renders a little bit faster because I'm recording this on video, so don't have to wait as long. When I render it, I usually turn it all the way up. The indirect bounce is not too much because it's a little bit too busy. You don't get fireflies, but it just looks weird because that would be some crazy lighting even in real life if you had like that many light bounce. It just looks like there's crazy light sources. So a few is good, but not too many. So I usually keep that where it is, but the shadow quality I usually raise that when I render it. But for this, it doesn't really have to be, because we're just previewing it. Because when I render, I don't use the real-time settings. I decide that when I'm rendering it, and I just let it go crazy. I don't really. I say, hey, you know, take as long as you need. One advantage of what I'm doing is I don't have to sacrifice any polygons. There's no limit to how many polygons I can use, even though this doesn't have that many. But as it could, because this isn't for a video game or anything like that. So it can look as detailed and as pretty as I need it, you know. So although I don't want to get too crazy, because the more you have, the longer it could take to render. But then again, the computer I have is actually pretty good, so this actually isn't a big. It's not really a big deal rendering. The cost of rendering for me isn't a big deal, but I think it's, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Just means more work, but you know, you want to finish it in a reasonable amount of time. So this is it. You can kind of see how it looks. That isn't the most complimentary angle, but well, how about we'll get the speaker. Those holes look kind of, or you know, actually, that's not interesting, right? The fan might be interesting. You just turn it. Actually, so we'll just kind of do it like that. See what that looks like. Could change the sun location. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's forget what this stuff is. I don't want to change the camera, it's more the lighting. Environment? Oh, that's what I was looking for. The rotation is, you know, where the light is hitting it. Okay, I'm gonna let that. Actually, I think that might be good, because it looks like it's hitting right here, and then the shadow is gonna be kind of like that. Or am I wrong? Actually, I think it's from this direction. Yeah, I mean, so you get the basic idea. It's a media projector, and it's cool looking. So now there's another part to this. Discard. So actually, you end up seeing. So basically, I'm basically playing three-dimensional dollhouse. Make the elements and put everything else in. So this is a school desk. Yeah, pretty much it. You have the little part that you would hang your backpack on, or whatever, right here. Little hook. Oh, little stray material there. Let's get rid of that. No big deal. Okay, so what I did was actually made the bolts, the adjustment bolts that go through the legs, and these are actually like weld points right here. The good thing about it is I know enough to do to where once it's rendered, it'll sell the idea. So these are right here is where the screws went through. This is wood, that's metal. Now, I didn't design this. This is actually from something that's real, so it looks like this. Now, this is actually, I did change a little bit, but it's pretty much the way it looks. I changed this a little bit. I changed the name on there because it is some brand or something like that. But it's basically your generic school desk, at least the kind that are in Japan. This chair actually doesn't match it, but you would see that, you know, the chairs aren't going to necessarily stay with the desk that they originally came with, because maybe they broke, or maybe some student got up and took the chair with them, or whatever. You know, things get moved around. So that's that. We'll see how that looks in Keyshot in a second. I want to show the other one. So that is type 1. So there's another one. So this one is an example of this chair is actually for this desk, because you see the same design in it. And didn't really change that much. On this, to save time, I kept that the same, that the same. Then I just changed the legs. Well, I take that back. I did take off this part. But you get the idea. So let's see. First, let's check this out in KeyShot. I'm gonna close Mr. Media Projector. No, I didn't do anything. Okay, so let's send this to KeyShot. See what it looks like. Just gonna say render. So we're gonna, yeah, that's good. So we're gonna zoom in here. I'm not gonna rest it on the ground. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. It's a desk. Desk and chair. Hold on. We'll let it render in a second. Okay. It's a pretty fast renderer. It's pretty cool. Oh, that's right. Let me change something. And take off the ground shadows. And change that. Actually, I'll keep the lighting environment on, but I'm going to reduce the I'll turn on global illumination, and just for the sake of, like, you know, video recording, I'm changing that. Did I? Yeah, actually keep the ground shadows on. Let's zoom in close so you can see the bolt, because that'll be interesting. Let's zoom in even closer. Alright, that's good. Let that do its real-time render. On the original, the numbers are actually going in. But in this one, I kind of raised them up just to change it up a little bit. So that was definitely intentional. But the bolt, yeah, pretty much that's what it looks like. Yeah, so there's that. Now let's look at the second one. Discard. Okay, so that's that one. Nope. Alright, let's look at... I like this one because it's consistent. That looks thick. That looks thick. Alright, we're gonna send you to KeyShot. Alright, we've already seen the chair. And, I mean, the chair legs and this desk, I mean, they're almost the same, and there's a few minor differences. It's pretty much the same thing. Let's get the desk. Let's look at the hook, because the hook looked kind of wonky before. Let's see what it looks like now. Yeah. Some of them do look like this, and some of them don't. Some are all stretched out of shape, and they look like this because of things have been hanging on them. So it's pretty much anything goes. then the name, and then the sort of the nameplate. Although I've never noticed anybody actually putting their names in that little nameplate slider. They usually go on top of the desks. So, but you know, it's just there to sell the idea that this is a school desk. That's all. So there's that. And let's. Oh, another thing I'm doing, I am gonna populate the desk with typical things that you might find in a school desk: books, papers, pencils, pens, all that nice stuff. Not very interesting right now, but yeah, that is it for now. I've also been working on like components to a so basically what I'm doing is I'm making a classroom, and yeah, so you'll be able to enter it and look around, things like that, learn about it. And this one is based on a one in Japan. That's it for now.